Remember folks, don't let anybody tell you that a convertible can't be practical. So one of the important things about this box is that not only does it have the word heavy on it, because the monitor itself is 32 pounds. As you can see, it's quite huge in a lot of contexts. So we're gonna flip it on its side as well, because as you can see, there's a warning so you don't actually open it from this side. So I'm gonna flip this over, let's crack it open. This is the 49WQ95C. Before I jump into why I specifically selected this ultra-wide monitor over other offerings like the Odyssey Neo G9 from Samsung and the other competitors, I wanted to show you what actually comes with the monitor in the box. Considering the giant dimensions of the monitor itself, I wanted to take a look at what actual desk space would be taken up by the monitor stand and the quality of it. And this one in particular does have a large footprint. The materials of the base itself aren't the best, considering it's a metal core with a plastic covering, but when you take into account the price of monitor arms that are required to hold up a monitor this size, it's not a bad deal to use this included one. Of course, we get our power cables, we get a cable management clip as well, in addition to an HDMI cable, a DisplayPort cable, and USB-C, which I'll be using my MacBook to connect to this monitor as well. It's important to note that this monitor actually offers a single cable connection solution because it does offer 90-watt power delivery over USB-C, which is great for MacBook users like myself who want to have a clean setup for photo and video editing. The actual neck of the monitor stand feels similar in quality to the base itself, with a nice brushed aluminum finish and some vertical adjustability. As you'll see later in the video, there is a bit of wobble, but it does do the job. I do wish that the back of the monitor was black, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. Connecting the monitor stand is super easy as it snaps in place just like this, and applying the base to the actual neck of the monitor stand is quite easy. Ultimately, the monitor stand as a whole feels quite stable, even though there's the occasional wobble of the screen, but that kind of comes with the territory of having a giant 49-inch monitor. As you can see, when I'm getting it out, it has to be a delicate process to make sure you don't actually bend or scratch the screen itself. I'm no cable management wizard by any means, but having two cables alone makes it easy to have a cleaner setup. You may find that you don't use this cover for the back of your monitor, but it's a nice option to have. On the right side, you have two USB-A ports, a headphone jack, and a joystick-style power controller. But ultimately, this monitor is about screen real estate and how it looks. This monitor uses LG's proprietary Nano IPS display, which gives you great colors, fantastic contrast, VESA 400 rating for HDR content. It's also G-Sync compatible if you're a gamer, but we'll get into that in a little bit. It's important to note that this is not a 4K monitor because it can get confusing when you're looking at resolutions and you see 5120 by 1440, because that 5 you start thinking, oh, is this a 5K monitor? No, this is the equivalent of two 1440p 27-inch monitors stuck together side by side. But I found that this resolution is more than sharp enough for video and photo editing, and since the aspect ratio of this monitor is 32:9, you do get black bars when you watch YouTube videos in 16:9 format. Ultimately, this monitor is quite customizable, but one of the things you'll run into when you're cross-shopping 49-inch ultra-wide monitors is the factors of curvature and refresh rate. There is a 60Hz version of this monitor from LG that is slightly cheaper, but I definitely recommend going for 144Hz, especially if you do want to be doing some recreational gaming as well. As you can see, the main benefit for gaming of a monitor like this is you have cinematic experiences that just can't be compared to on things like a 27-inch monitor. Now, my MacBook definitely is not designed for gaming, and it's worth considering how much graphical processing power your computer has when considering buying this monitor, because it's a lot of screen space and it takes up a lot of processing power to do full resolution gaming. This brings us to the topic of curvature, and while you may be getting a more immersive experience with something like the 1000R curvature of a Samsung Odyssey Neo G9, many other reviewers, including myself, like the lower curvature of this monitor for productivity, but it also provides a really immersive experience for gaming as well, as you can see me dodging this bucket from Black Ops 3. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a machine that can run Forza Horizon 9, but racing games is where monitors like these really shine, and this would work perfectly for a sim rig as well. It's good to acknowledge when you're cross-shopping that this monitor does not have the 240Hz refresh rate like the Samsung offerings. But I found that 144 Hz is a happy medium between the two, and you definitely want to go for the 144 Hz over the 60 Hz options because you will miss that extra smoothness when it comes to your video editing and just general day-to-day tasks. After my initial testing, I can definitely recommend this monitor for you. Just make sure you assess what your needs are in terms of productivity versus gaming, because that will factor in your decision. Because if you're more focused on gaming, the Samsung options are likely the better option for you. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, do please consider subscribing and leaving a like. It helps me out a great deal. I'm going to be doing more tech reviews like this video, including a long-term review on this monitor as well in the future. And of course, I'm going to be bringing you car content too, so stick around and I will see you in the next video.